Light machine guns aren't the most popular weapon class in COD. I mean, they're slow handling, they're kind of clunky with their recoil patterns, but that doesn't mean there haven't been some really good ones throughout the years. In fact, there have been some absolutely ridiculous LMGs throughout COD history, some that even border on the line of being too good. Dare I say overpowered. Welcome to the page, everybody. Chaos here. Today, we're going to look at 10 of the absolute dumbest LMGs in COD history. And when I say dumb, I mean so strong that it's just kind of dumb. So let me know which of these you think were spammed the most. Drop a like, and we start off with the Stoner. The Stoner 63 from Black Ops 1. Raise your hand if you ever used this. A lot of people don't know this, but it was one of the only guns in the original Black Ops that should actually go toe-to-toe with the infamous FAMAS. The Stoner fired at 937 rounds per minute, could kill in 3 shots from any distance, which gave it one of the fastest time to kills in the entire game. It was far and away the most popular LMG in the game, and yes, it did have a steep learning curve. A lot of players were more than happy, though, to put the hours in and get good with it. The recoil, it was bad. The reload, it was a tad long. But ultimately, the time to kill was worth it, and in terms of fast-killing LMGs, this was up there with the best. I think it's a good way to kick off today's list. Before we move on, guys, if you get anything from G2A.com, use code CHAOS for some cash back. The link is at the top of the description. At number 9, the MG42 from Vanguard. It's one of the most iconic weapons in the history of firearms. It has a blazing fire rate. It can shred through enemy cover and armor with relatively ease. I mean, it comes with an awesome firing sound, and it's honestly one of my favorite weapons from any World War II COD game, which is a little ironic since I really didn't play this game that much. But for a long time, the MG was a very popular pick in Vanguard multiplayer, and for all I know, it may still be considered top tier by what remains of the game's community. With the ridiculous 10 attachment gunsmith system, you could easily maximize the weapon's time to kill while also reducing all the movement and all the recoil penalties, which left you with a laser beam LMG that could melt your enemies before they could react. Yes, Vanguard was probably one of the lower tier Call of Duties, but the Vanguard MG42, it was pretty dumb. At number 8, the RPK from Black Ops 3. This LMG first appeared in Black Ops 1. A lot of people like to think of it as being kind of a variant of the AK-47, and I guess in some ways you're right, but in other ways, you're not. But no matter what you thought of the gun's origins, you probably remember the Black Ops 3 version being busted. This one appeared in supply drops. Yep, in April of 2018, roughly 2.5 years after the game came out, which is amazing, and quickly grabbed hold of the community because of the traits. Now, when it came to damage, the RPK was extremely consistent. 3-shot kills, and the fire rate was 600 rounds per minute. The only downside was a 40-round default mag, but since the reload animation was so fast, it really wasn't an issue. This RPK was basically a beefy assault rifle, and if you were lucky enough to get it from a supply drop, you probably never put it down. It was insane. I wish more Black Ops 3 players got a chance to actually experience it. At number 7, the RPD from COD 4, the second LMG you got your little hands on in the game, and I still think it's one of the best in the entire franchise. Doesn't look fancy on the surface, but once you started using it, you notice all the special stuff, the consistency. 3-shot kill from any distance, no matter where your bullets hit their target. But if you threw on stopping power, it would go to a 2-shot kill from any distance, regardless of where the bullets landed. And since you were firing at over 700 rounds per minute, you could abuse that. The recoil was a little bouncy, but if you threw on the foregrip attachment, it almost entirely went away. And on top of all that, you got a 100-round mag. Sounds like the perfect gun. Gets the number 7 spot today due to the fact this was COD 4 and there weren't very many attachments available for you to beef it up more, but it was insane on its own right. At number 6, the M27 IAR from COD Ghosts. This is one of the most spam weapons in COD Ghost history. Basically the only LMG that people consider to be viable in the game, but it was far more than just viable. It was annoying. It was easy to use, insane versatility, 3-shot kill, very consistent, could even land a 2-shot if you hit someone in the head from close to mid-range. And on top of all that, the icing on the cake, no recoil, 100-round default magazine. You could just, camp, spam, whatever you wanted to do. There were so many people that just camped with the M27 in a thermal sight back in the day. And like I said before, this was pretty much the only LMG in the game that people took seriously. And did I mention, you could reload that 100-round mag in about 3.5 seconds without sleight of hand. Yep, that makes it dumb. Now we crack into the top 5. The Dingo from Black Ops 3. Speaking of guns that were a little too good, most Black Ops 3 players will agree the Dingo was the best in its class. It's not hard to see why. Fire rate of 722 rounds per minute, very low recoil. I mean, it was used, lots of Black Ops players just wanted a spammy assault rifle, so they used this. The handling speeds were fast, magazine was huge, accuracy was great, killed in 4 to 5 shots to the chest. Now, compared to other LMGs on this list, a 4 to 5 shot kill may sound like a lot, but with the fire rate and the laser-like accuracy, it really wasn't an issue. The Dingo, and the name's pretty cool, was insane. And a lot of COD players still think it's one of the best weapons from Black Ops 3. I have to ask, do you agree? At number 4, the Lewis from COD World War II. Now, I've complained more about this LMG than most others in COD history, and I don't think anybody can blame me for it. It was your starting LMG in COD World War II, and while it doesn't have a very quick fire rate, it has really high damage and very low recoil that makes up for it, and you can use it at any skill level. And on top of that, the handling speeds were roughly that of a rifle, which was strange since this was supposed to be this giant machine gun you were lugging around. You mix all those traits together, you have a weapon that was super easy to use aggressively or defensively, and frankly, I think it was the best LMG in the game. I guess Sledge thought they were balancing it with relatively a small 47-round mag, but all you had to do is throw on extended mags, and you got almost up to 100 there, so that's not going to hurt you. The Lewis camping in COD World War II is absurd. I think this gun was way too good. At number 3, the Bruen MK9 from Warzone 1. Now, the Bruen was relatively an early addition to Modern Warfare post-launch, and at first people didn't really think a lot about it, but once the Warzone meta started evolving and people figured out how powerful the 60-round mag attachment was, it got dumb. Most LMGs are balanced by the fact that they have slow handling and long reload animations, but the 60-round mag attachment made the Bruen just as fast as an assault rifle, and it gave it a completely reasonable reload speed, meaning you could take full advantage of how absurd the damage and the range was on the gun. For the first few months of its life, this thing was hands down the best gun in Warzone. The time to kill, the fast handling, 60-round mag, but thankfully, Raven Software caught on to it, and they nerfed it. Now, some would say the patches they went a bit too far, but when you look back at the videos of how dominant this thing was in early stages of Warzone, I don't blame the devs for overcorrecting. At number 2, the Titan from Black Ops 4, one of the most obnoxious and overpowered weapons of all time. It sat at the top of the Black Ops 4 tier list for the longest time due to multiple reasons. Versatility, killing power. Despite being an LMG, it had a very quick handling speed and super low recoil, and it still maintained a 4-shot kill from practically any distance, and that was before you put any attachments on it. Put FMG1, put FMJ2 on it. You can make the Titan a 3-shot kill and completely abuse its accuracy by spraying people down from across the map for 10 seconds straight and quickly reload to do it all over again. Eventually, Treyarch noticed, and they nerfed it. But in the first few months, it was a problem. But there's one LMG that I think was even dumber, and funny enough, it's another Treyarch weapon. At number 1 today, the LSAT from Black Ops 2. Now, when you clicked the video, you probably already knew what was going to be at number 1. The quintessential annoying spam weapon in Call of Duty history, and to say it was dumb would be the understatement of the year. An LMG featuring a gigantic mag, great accuracy, solid rate of fire, impressive damage per shot, and on top of all that, it was a default class with a target finder equipped. Treyarch must have known how dumb this thing was, because there's no way something like this got through testing without anybody asking a few questions, but to this day, it never got nerfed. Throughout all the Black Ops 2 lifespan, there were people sitting back in the spawn area or maybe perched on a head glitch and just spraying across the map with the LSAT for kills. It was dumb, it was annoying, and it was more than deserving of being the number 1 weapon on today's list. If you don't agree, that's just because you didn't play Black Ops 2 in its prime, because this is the correct choice for this video. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with the list. Let me know one dumb LMG that didn't make the list, and I'll see you soon.